Keep listening to Boom Radio. Don't touch that dial. Boom Radio all the way.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is Dolupo and Abidjan. Welcome to the bar today. It promises to be very interesting as we're going to be talking about a lot of things today. The president and vice president are not around again. There's a lot of gist coming from customs, interesting ones about Nigerians and the activities of Nigerians. Governor Okpebholo is in the news again, accusing his predecessor of a few things. The courts are also in the news. White Lion is definitely caught today as well. So we'll definitely give you updates from that. And of course, football, there definitely was a lot of football, Champions League football yesterday that we had talked about. A couple of surprises, a couple of letdowns. But one thing was for sure, it was a lot of goals that we cannot deny at all. So that and a lot of other things we're going to be talking about today. Sit back, relax as we enjoy today's show. With me in the studio is Sola Rogers.
Good morning, good afternoon, and welcome to the Boom Bar. Let's go.
Okay, so today we're going to be talking about a lot of things like I had said earlier. First things first, for people that do not know, President Tinubu I think he's jetted out already with his wife. So apparently there's supposed to be a state visit that they were invited by the president of, France. And so they're going on a 3-day visit to France, or they've gone. They've gone. However, there is now also gist about the vice president is also he has also gone for a conference in Abidjan as well. So would we say that is becoming a thing that's president and vice president decides to go anywhere they like? I don't know if the president is planning on or the vice president, at least we know the president is spending 3 days. Maybe the vice president is not planning on spending so much as the president. But in the real sense of it, I know it happens here, and I get the point. Maybe there's some things, but should it be this frequent?
Okay. Interesting discussion we're having at the moment. If you're just joining us, welcome once again. Nigeria's president and vice president out of the country at the same time, and it's becoming rampant. It's not the first time. Let's talk about the president first. This is a 32nd or 33rd trip out of Nigeria in 18 months that he has been president. Did we mention that he just got back from Brazil a few moments ago? So you start to wonder, like, okay, look, we get it. I know it's important to network and everything, but again, we always have these discussions. We had the discussion under Obasanjo. People felt he was traveling a lot. Mm-hmm. Same thing with, we always keep Yar'Adua for obvious reasons. Same thing with Goodluck Jonathan at some point, and Buhari. Buhari's case was even kind of worse because he was away for months on end. For medical reasons. And of course, there was a lot of secrecy and all of that around that. But in 18 months, President Tinubu has traveled over 30 times. This is his 5th trip to France. You get. But this is his first state visit to France. Mm-hmm. So, okay, because it's a state visit, and if you understand...
It changes a lot of
diplomacy
dynamics,
and all that, you get that. Okay, fine. Again, will it bear fruit? Because I'm more concerned about the essence of these trips. It's there for 3 days, and there's a state dinner, there's a meeting at the official residence of the French president and all of that. There's a meeting between the two first ladies also. will it bear fruit? Will it be any different from any other meetings or traveling that they've done? Again, also looking at the West African landscape and understanding that a lot of the Francophone countries are kind of drifting away from France. At least there are 3 or 4 of them that have made such pronouncements.
So maybe France is looking for allies at this point.
So you start to wonder, like, okay, is this another ploy by the French or whatever? But the way the world is constructed, sadly, you still need this.
You need everybody last.
Like they also need you.
Yeah, I get
they need your resources, and you need some funds here and there. So you look at that trip and say, look, remove the sentiment of a president that is traveling a lot, and look at the necessity of a state visit with one of the strongest and richest countries in the world. I don't want to go into the politics of their wealth, but at least statistically, they're one of the richest countries in the world. And there's also a meeting of the Nigerian-French business groups and all of that. I hope that bears fruit, because at this point in time, what Nigeria needs the most is more of investments as against grants. We need investments, and again, we need to divest a lot, from oil to other angles where we could actually make some income, and maybe the French might be good customers in that regard. I don't know. I just hope and pray that happens. They also said, according to the official statement by the president's spokesperson, one of his spokespersons, he has quite a few of them, that there's going to be some focus on youth empowerment and all of that. So there's focus on youth empowerment, there's focus on women and children empowerment, and there's focus on business. Let's hope it's that, and let's hope it starts to bear quick fruit. Oh yeah, he went to Brazil, blah, but there are 2 deals that are coming out of that Brazilian trip that might just be something huge for Nigeria, Okay. So that's that about the president. About the vice president, the conference that he's going for is in Cote d'Ivoire.
Yeah.
It has to do with, oil, more or less, and Nigeria has some experience in that. I just also hope that whatever it is, because they say it's going to share Nigeria's experience.
Yeah, so apparently he's only going for the opening ceremony, and it is said that he's supposed to be back in Nigeria today.
Yes. So opening ceremony, we share Nigeria's experience. How does it pay Nigeria? That's my own is, at the end of the day, like, what is in it for Nigeria? We know that you have to keep up appearances, network, and everything, but how does Nigeria benefit from that trip also by the vice president? Those are the questions that I'm asking today. And, well, interesting that it's almost the norm now that president and vice president can jet out. So for a few hours, we are presidentless and vice presidentless, and there's supposed to be a number 3. I'm not sure there was a communication to that effect that, Mr. Number 3, you're acting president.
I don't think he has that.
It's not fair now.
Jurisdiction yet.
They should just
However, the vice president is supposed to be back later today. So
for a minute, they're not supposed to be in Akuna. If I'm the Senate, I'll be making it emphatic so that at least one person can come out and say, I'm the acting president for 2 hours, man. It won't be a bad thing.
You should add it to his CV, Abby.
Oh, yeah. People that are just contestants in presidential elections, don't they add it to their CV?
Aspirants, not even.
Exactly. Even aspirants add it.
But a whole Senate president is okay now. Keep it. Stay your lane.
And
don't
acting
do too
president.
Much. Don't do too much.
Acting president.
Don't do too much. Don't do too much.
And if he doesn't want it, let them give the speakers an acting president.
Anyway, moving on from that, just wanted to put that out there. So, let's go back to our Port Harcourt refinery gist here, which we actually sat down and talked about at length yesterday. However, the petroleum marketers basically had come out to say that they had already started lifting fuel there as of yesterday. They have not, they are lamenting now, because what they're saying is that cost of petrol at Port Harcourt refinery is 75 naira higher than what is in Dangote refinery.
So the thing there now, we're talking kobo and naira now. What this basically means to me, the little that I'm going to talk about and understand about this is that the people in the southeastern part and south of Nigeria,
they're gonna have expensive fuel.
They might just be the best for this deal. This might be the best thing that's happened to them when it comes to petrol.
So you're saying that it might still be cheaper?
Yes, because the reason why that might be is that the landing cost of
even the Dangote refinery
from Lagos to the east might
still be more expensive.
Yeah.
Okay. I get your point.
So when it comes to cost, the people in the southeastern part. Sorry, excuse me. I'm trying out this coffee, this Mira coffee. So the people in the south and the southeast might just be getting good supply of petrol at good price. So again, it's the quality that will now stand out. Like hopefully it's as good as the.
It's
Dangote,
as good as or even better.
Or better. Do you understand?
Okay.
So, but no matter what it is probably going to be a good deal for them. But it will be strange for someone in Lagos that can get good quality
and cheaper fuel.
And again, Mr. Dangote has started advertising.
And that was what I was going to say. Like, it's interesting how one day of not having monopoly anymore, you have that. Like, honestly, to be honest, I'm not sure I've ever seen adverts or even promo of a refinery before.
So for those of you who have capacity,
Dangote is calling on everybody.
2 million liters.
If you can buy 2 million liters, it's going to be giving you a rebate. They're doing promo. Everybody's doing promo now. Wow.
So to the people who said that the owners of the tank farms in Apapa might go obsolete, maybe this is the best time for them to even own a tank farm, because they can actually buy
and keep,
sell at their own pace.
So in case maybe it goes higher, they have cheaper fuel that they can still make money off. Because at the end of the day, even if why anybody would think the tank farms will be obsolete is because the tank farms are to store. Dangote refinery is not planned. I'm not sure the idea of a refinery is to store petrol.
No, it has capacity.
No, I'm not saying it doesn't have, but it makes more sense to sell out. Since they're churning out every day. Anyway.
But again, even the tank farms, in putting it there, I'm not even encouraging them to store it. I'm just saying that they can buy in large quantities and redistribute like they always do. Because now he's offering them a deal at 2 million liters. Again, that's why I'm happy that I also told the line of caution yesterday when I was talking about why people should not be excited about the operation of the Port Harcourt refinery. The good thing about it is that we would definitely, at this rate, never import petrol again in Nigeria. At this rate, we will never import petrol again if both refineries and the other modular refineries, the Waltersmiths and the rest of them, are functioning.
Functioning at top.
We would not need, because Port Harcourt is functioning at 70% now.
Yeah.
By the time it hits 90 to 100%, the output will be higher, which means it will produce more. So we won't import. So lesser demand on the dollar. But that doesn't stop the people who are storing dollar from storing it. The people who are hoarding dollars from hoarding it.
There will just not be at least you will not be
for that particular sector.
Exactly.
Then again, the only advantage is that maybe the people close to Port Harcourt will be able to buy petrol at a more affordable price. The downside for all of us is that it was not what we were all told when they said refineries will come on stream.
Anyway, so we'll definitely be following all that story. But moving on from that, let's go on to the Nigerian customs, where there's very, very interesting story coming from there. And I know that we spoke about this a few weeks ago. There was something like this news that actually, I think this was the EFCC at this time returning, I think, monies to another country, money that was stolen or something like that. I think it was the EFCC when we spoke about it. Mm-hmm. Now, the Nigerian Customs have now announced that they transferred 21 stolen exotic vehicles valued about 1.8 billion naira to the Canadian government. They're saying these vehicles include Rolls-Royce, Lamborghini, Mercedes, AMG, Range Rover models, and were handed over at the Federal Operations Unit in Lagos.
Yeah. Good news for the Canadians, bad news for the Nigerian thieves, not the Nigerians. The thieves who have constantly gone ahead to soil the name of this country. You know, and I'm not sure this has ever happened before, so it's a welcome development for us, and hopefully to stop this idiots.
Even for the optics, you might think that it's not a good thing, but I think it also sends a message that if you bring in stolen vehicles, there's a very high possibility that you think that you have escaped from the country you brought it. If you bring it into Nigeria, it probably will still get impounded.
Yeah. Again, a lot of people forget that technology just keeps getting better and better and better.
It does.
And your car can be tracked anywhere on the globe as long as they put in the right equipment. And that's what, it's not even your car. It's a car that you stole. You know, some of them, they steal these cars under the guise of rentals and all of that. Some of them, I don't know the other aspects of what they do, but they get these cars into the country and sell them off at God knows what prices, and they make a killing. Then you start to feel like, that your guy that just came back. Respect yourself.
Respect yourself. You don't know exactly.
You don't know what these people are doing. Not everybody is into it. Gladly, I know a lot of people who live outside Nigeria who are legitimate people, who they work hard for their money. But you see, the guys who are doing all these bad things, they are giving us a bad name. And kudos to the customs for this. But again, the customs in doing that should also look into all the stories and allegations that are being made of cars being illegally smuggled into Nigeria. Because again, that might just be the source of some of these stolen vehicles. They should look into it, because there are one or two journalists who have actually, they've got proof. They put videos and stuff out. And the customs, as we commend you for this, we are asking you to act on the other one.
Yeah, exactly. So now moving on from that quickly, just want to put it out there that the FCT Development Commission Bill has scaled second reading in the Senate. Looks like at the end of the day, everybody is going to have, every region is going to have a development commission bill, a development commission at this point.
The FCT Development Commission Bill sounds like a strange bill to me. Sounds like a funny bill to me. Now,
why does the FCT need development commission?
The Federal Capital Territory has a ministry with two ministers.
Yeah.
It has local governments that have elected chairmen.
Yeah, they have area councils.
You know? So, if you look at all of that,
what else do you need?
Why do you need a development
And it's
commission?
a very small area, so what do you need?
Why do you need it? And they're talking about development commission for satellite towns and all of that. These satellite towns are either captured by the local council area, the local government, or the ministry. So please, politicians might have these ideas that makes them feel like they're onto something, but at times you should just slow your roll. Sadly, this thing has passed the second reading. It might just become a law again, and it's just going to be...
It just might. So what I put it out there, the NDLEA gets a brand new building. Pew, 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 pew. Anyway, also talking about that Kano Anti-Graft body has uncovered a warehouse where federal government rice palliatives are being rebagged and then sold.
Yeah. It's news because we know it's happening a lot.
Yeah.
It's also news because you know the price of rice has gone crazy.
But I have a question though. Why? Okay. How is it that? How did those bags leave the
bags or the rice itself?
Yes, the bags of rice. How did they leave?
No, you said bags. So.
Oh yeah, I wanted to finish the sentence. How did those bags leave the state government's warehouse?
Okay, I'm still going to tell her when she says bags, I see empty bags. But when you're talking about bags of rice being rebagged, of course, it's people. They are thieves. Everybody there is a thief. We said it before. We're going to say it again. Now, isn't it sad? Although we shouldn't be so into palliatives, but because there's a lot of hunger, a palliative is an immediate response to need. It's not supposed to be permanent. We're supposed to look at other things, to cut this. But the sad part is, look at it this way. Government issues contracts to contractors, suppliers, to supply rice. The rice is bagged for the government and supplied. Federal government takes the rice, distributes it to the states. Say, oh yeah, look, give it to your people. Then the states now receive the rice, and you know what? Make this big show of we're giving our rice to 100 billion thousand people plus 100,000 non-people, and before you know it, the non-peoples have it. It is a sad situation. They are the same people because look. Did you hear of a break-in? Was there a story of how some unknown men or unknown gunmen broke into any warehouse in Kano? Did you hear anything like that? No. You know, so they are the same people who have, smuggled the rice out and they rebag and sell. Is it amazing? It's the same stories you used to hear about, what's it called now? Subsidy, how there were claims of fuel that was supplied being taken out and resupplied. There are stories like that, allegedly, being resupplied. So you see it with the rice again. But if you look back, it wasn't too long ago when the government of the of Saudi Arabia had sent some free food stuff to Nigerians
it was in markets
for breaking fast, and they started selling it in the markets.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But at least, thank God, this one has been caught. I'm still talking about Kano State. The Kano government has now officially implemented 71,000 naira as minimum wage for civil servants. Now, moving on from that, and let's go to Edo State, where something interesting happened, and the governor has laid an allegation again. And according to him, or according to his spokesperson, he has said that the Stella Obasanjo Hospital that was commissioned, I think, a couple of weeks ago, and I remember that I think it was former President Olusegun Obasanjo that commissioned that. I think that was a few days before Obaseki left being governor, is a scam. According to him, he's saying that there's still a lot of construction still ongoing and that it's not being completely built. And the sad part for me with when I saw this is that it's very believable. Why would I say so? We were all here when former President Buhari commissioned Dangote refinery in 2023, a couple of days before he left. And Dangote refinery did not come on stream until October of this year. Well over a year after. I can add examples. We were here. In fact, I remember very well, I think it was around October of 2022, when there was a cargo airport that was commissioned by the outgoing governor of Ekiti State. And I did a little digging. Sorry for anybody.
Did you strike gold?
Oh, yes, I did. Now, where is the story? Where did I get the story? So a couple of days ago, the Ekiti State government, of course, put out a statement where they were giving about 300 and something million naira to people that they were compensating for the lands of people that he got to build the airport. So the governor in his statement was saying that this is the first batch and they're looking, but anybody that has not gotten theirs yet will get theirs yet. And let me tell you where I struck gold on that. Mm-hmm. Where I struck gold is where the statement now continued and said that nobody should please cause any trouble or disrupt the ongoing construction, as the compensations will get to them. This was November 1 of 2024.
All right.
So the governor himself accepts that it's still an ongoing construction. But I remember how there was a lot of fanfare about an airport.
If anybody wants to sponsor any bill that will make sense, and I know that it will never happen because it's going to affect them, they should be sponsoring bills against anybody commissioning a project that has not been tested. I'm not talking about it being finished now. For instance, you cannot commission a train service until you have run several times on it.
Yeah.
Do you understand? You test it. Do you understand? It's like you're opening an hotel. If you're smart about it, you would have at least done some tests before you say, okay, come and stay in my hotel. Do you get? And that's how this thing should be. That's how it should be. So you see it. She's brought out very strong, comparisons and stories in time where politicians have commissioned projects that were not.
That's what I'm saying.
Fully ready.
It's sad that it's actually believable.
It's happening everywhere. It's not even about it.
I know that Governor Okpebholo mostly he's coming from a political angle. Let's call it speed. However, these options or these examples I gave were from the APC. Okay, so in the case of the Stella Obasanjo Hospital, that was named after former President Obasanjo's wife, who happens to be from Edo State,
and was constructed by the immediate past Governor Obaseki a few days before he left government. According to the governor, the deputy governor, and the commissioner for health, they had on their entourage doctors and medical, industry people, for an assessment. Mm-hmm. They found no equipment, according to them.
According to them, they're saying that equipment has not even been procured at all.
There were structural defects, according to them, and they called the attention of the contractor. Now, this is an hospital that has been commissioned with so much fanfare. I've said this story before at the bar. I'm going to say it again. I have a friend who works with the Lagos State health sector. He's currently highly placed as one of the CMDs of one of the hospitals. But when he was even not yet a CMD, and Fashola was governor, Fashola was on a tour of local governments, and he came to their local government in Shomolu. Of course, next door is the general hospital that had just been paid for and upgraded by the immediate past governor, who happens to be president today. Bola Tinubu had just left. And Fashola comes around, and they were expecting him to commission that hospital, that building. He obliged them. He was not on his list, but he did not commission the hospital. But they already had ticker tape in place and ribbons and all. And the man dips under to go and check by himself. When he saw that they had everything in place, he now gave them a date for proper commissioning. Do you get? It's not your typical politician. And now this is something that is even in place that was constructed. And how many times have we heard these things were happening under the military and is happening under the civilians also? Yeah. They will come and tell you that they are bringing water to one community. And when the person comes, the military administrator comes, they would open the tap and water will flow. But when the man leaves, the water is gone. Or they will tell you that they are bringing light. I remember those 3 bulbs that they used to carry about and put and say, that they've now connected this place to the grid. Yeah. Meanwhile, there's a generator in one corner, far away, running. As soon as the person goes, the power is gone. And these are the things that have also made people not trust politicians and not trust the leaders and rulers in Nigeria and Africa. Mm-hmm. So as this case stands and as we speak all of these things, we're speaking because we want change and we want corrections to happen. Why should politicians?
It's more about the commissioning and the optics of it than.
Why do you commission projects that you've not finished? They're not 100%. Some of these projects are not even 90%. They're not even 80%.
How do you commission a hospital that does not have
an entire stadium? An entire stadium was commissioned in Lagos,
and it's not complete yet.
It was commissioned, and there was a military person in charge then. And when the civilians came, did an assessment, they had to basically reconstruct
the whole thing.
They didn't bring it down, but they had to spend almost 2 years in putting it in shape. That is how bad we are. So it cuts across.
Oh yeah, it cuts across everybody. It definitely is disgraceful or whatever, we like it or not. Moving on from that, let's go all the way to Kogi State, where this is Abuja. White Lion was arrested yesterday. You remember that it was a gist that he drove himself. EFCC said he did not drive himself, that they were the ones that arrested him. Bottom line, is in your custody. It sounds like they're a very petty bunch at this point. Is in your custody. And they decided to provide him in court today. And the court, so they were in court today. He was in court with other 4 defendants. They had pleaded not guilty. But the court has now adjourned their bail hearing to December 10. So it looks like Mr. White Lion is in EFCC custody till December 10th. That's
for the bail hearing.
Yeah, that's at least for the bail hearing. So if we're looking at it, that's about another 2 weeks, if I'm correct.
Yeah, he had already pleaded not guilty to all the charges. Him alongside the people that were charged with him, and they said they want bail. And I'm wondering, like, same guy that was dodging arrest, and of course, there's another case in another court that he has even refused to go to appear. And they're saying that, oh, don't bring the case of that court to this court and all of that. But doesn't that speak to character? Like,
it's a lot. You know the funny thing?
If you're not appearing in court, why should they grant you bail?
That's what the EFCC counsel was saying now, that the bail hearing had expired in October. So he does not have, there should not be a bail hearing. However, the judge has said all that will be done by December 10th.
So
but
man's has to chill there.
Is in EFCC custody.
Yeah.
And I would not be surprised if the EFCC chairman is on this one.
You know, there's a very popular person that I like a lot, but I won't mention his name because I like him, that actually went ahead to make a video and said that the man was not even with the EFCC, and he went on and on about his unreliable source, trying to, extricate himself while sending out false information. And I would like to hear what he has to say now, because it's such a shame.
It is such a shame. The funny thing with all this is still boils down to the fact that we can't just do the right thing. It's sad that, the saddest part for me is, I don't know if you've seen Twitter today, or maybe it's my own timeline. There seems to be his White Lion is trending, and I opened the trend, and most of it is, it seemed like it's a coordinated trend of making him seem like he's larger than life. Oh, that he only went to the EFCC office by himself when he wanted to. He doesn't have anything to hide. He's the White Lion. Do you understand? I'm like, okay. What is the need for this?
If there's something, I'm going to draw parallels. I always do this. If there's something that people must understand when it comes to efficient use of media, the Prime Minister of India is A1.
Oh, yeah.
When it comes to efficient use of media by politicians in Nigeria, I rest my case. There's no need for me to conclude that statement. Abi,
I know. I get it.
Since we don't even have time like that.
I just think it's honestly very ridiculous. That's just what I feel.
Oh, boys go chop now. At least the people when they tweet that thing, they go.
They try to get paid. Anyway, still talking about the courts.
It's creating employment one way or the other.
Talking about the courts, Supreme Court has now upheld Ezeokenwa as the APGA's national chairman. The court has also awarded 20 million naira fine against Edozie Njoku for filing a frivolous suit at the EFCC. At the FCT High Court.
Ever since I watched an interview where I think one of the former chairmen, then he was chairman of APGA, I said APGA during the interview. He said it more than once. I find it hard to say APGA. Like, when you Dolupo, you say, I'm like, which party?
APGA.
Well, you see, it doesn't sound nice.
It does. It is APGA. No, there's no you there.
APGA. So this is the reason why parties like the APC will continue to have their way when other parties will never put their house in order. And it's going to be very sad if, again, I'm not saying the APC doesn't have a right to do whatever they do as long as it's within the law, but it's going to be sad when other parties in Nigeria continue to fight amongst themselves instead of them actually getting down.
The least you can even do, even if you don't win like the general election, like presidential, at least let's have a vibrant opposition.
Yeah.
Which that we don't even have anyway. Now let's move on from that quickly and let's do a bit of international stories before we do a bit of sports stories and before we get to entertainment. So Namibia is voting for a new president and it seems to be a very tough fight. The ruling party is having it rough. And we've seen a lot of those upsets in a few African countries this in the past 1 year. There's been a lot of upsets here and there. So it doesn't seem like it's going to be an easy one, even if the ruling party wins on that. Also, Israel has agreed for ceasefire with Hezbollah.
Look, this is the only time that I will talk about that country. About 18 months, right? Mm-hmm. This has been going on about 18 months or thereabout. That's about a year and a half. And both parties would have their claims to whatever they have.
Whatever it is.
What I am more concerned about are the victims. They are victims in this case.
Oh, yeah, people are
on
dying.
both sides. They are victims. And you see, the victims are usually the vulnerable. Because you see, the perpetrators of these wars, they are always heavily guarded, always protected.
Oh, Lord, Chifoni Gogo says, good afternoon from here, sir. He says, good morning. There is no money in opposition.
There used to be.
There used to be.
If they know what they are doing, If they know what they are doing.
Maybe it has dried up.
But what up? Wasn't the APC in opposition before?
They had plans.
So why can't these ones get together? Do you know that if the ACN and
the CPC and the AMPP,
the AMPP faction, the APGA faction, and the PDP faction did not come together?
Oh yeah, PDP
there'll be no
will
APC.
still be. Yeah, I agree.
There'll be no APC. There'll be no Tinubu presidency. There'll be no Buhari presidency.
Somebody somewhere had to let their egos go and sit down and map out something. But like Chifoni Koko had rightly said, there's no money in it now, so everybody's just doing as they like. Everybody's trying to scramble and get what they can get. Now moving on. So China is investigating its defense minister for corruption, and you know that when it comes to corruption, China does not used to stay. What's it called? However, we talked about this yesterday, and this conversation has been going on for weeks. Australia is not backing down on this matter of banning under 16s from social media.
Yeah, over and over again. In my opinion, personal opinion, I agree with the Australians. Especially when you see what's going down on social media.
Oh yeah.
There's a whole lot. Look, you don't even need to search for anything anymore.
It's right there. It's right there, right in front of you.
Twitter has this new system that started a few months ago. As soon as the video that you're watching is done, another one pops up. Algorithm or no algorithm, something else pops up. And it pops up again, and it pops up. And it starts to show you different types of videos.
All unsolicited.
Yeah, so that's one angle to it. The fact that we need to protect our kids, at 16
is very important.
At 16, they're still very young.
It's very, very important.
I think that is when they can make their own minds and do their own things by themselves. But again, some of the parents are actually culpable. A lot of parents, you're exposing your children already.
A lot of people use gadgets as a way of babysitting their children.
Yeah. You're exposing them already. That's one angle to it. The angle she just talked about is one of the biggest problems. And as soon as a child is restless, you hand them a device.
So that it just...
And at times, you don't even care what they're reading or watching.
Children are meant to be restless.
We have neighbors not far away from us that when they play music and it's so loud, the thing sounds like devilish music. I used to say to myself, I like music. I can listen to all sorts, but not this. I finally found a genre. I think it's a genre because the thing sounds devilish.
Anyway.
And these are young kids. They are young kids. And their parents are there. Their parents are there in the house, but that's a story for that. So, yes, please protect them. It's for their own good.
It's for their own
They
good.
don't need to be exposed to so much, and he has to start from. So I'm glad from 16 down.
Yeah.
You know?
At least by the time you're 16, you should have a bit of sense, hopefully.
Hopefully.
Anyway, moving on from that, let's go a bit of football. As Chief Odikoko says Nigeria should be under 21 then. I agree with you, sir.
I agree.
Because the
I know a lot of people will hate us for this, but look.
The things that I have seen, yeah, and I think I should rant a little bit on this. Okay, I think we have another comment. Let me just quickly take it. Mr. Inform Alexander says, Yahoo Bello hearing should be adjourned to October 2025 for him to enjoy praises more.
Sorry, sir. I as much as I don't like the first name you called him, I disagree with the timing. I think they should be around 2027, 2028. No, it's so that there's time for adequate preparation by his team. You know, the EFCC's investigation is concluded, I think, and I hope and pray. But, you know, his team needs time. The judge should just give them like one Olympic tenure.
You people are mean.
Yeah.
Anyway.
that's where I agree with you.
We're going all the way to sports. And interested was Champions League match day 5, which runs for 3 days now. Was nothing sort of spectacular yesterday. It was said after all the games ended, in one match day, which was one of 3, garnered about 40 goals.
Yeah.
It was a goal fiesta yesterday.
Yeah.
It was.
They were scoring goals like it was going out of fashion. Fantastic. So let's pick it one by one. It looks like all the goals that we're supposed to see today has been scored
yesterday. Yeah. And I think a lot of people were so much on a high that I hope that people have so much enthusiasm for today's games. But let's start from the first.
Man City.
No. Why are you wicked like this? You're just looking for. AC Milan defeated Slovan Bratislava. Was that something? However, that was a lot of goals because there was 3-2 there. So that game ended 5-0, 5 goals.
5 goals.
I'm not sure anybody thought AC Milan was not going to win that game.
No, the big story is Bratislava scoring 2.
True, yeah. It was at least they definitely got 2 past them. Moving on from that, Atletico Madrid and Sparta Prague.
Atletico is on a
6-0.
They're on a roll.
I kind of hoped or thought that yes, Atletico Madrid was going to win that game, but 6-0, beating Sparta Prague at home 6-0, and they could not even score 1. That's nothing short of spectacular.
Yeah,
it's fantastic. That you cannot. Put some respect on them.
Imperial Atletico.
Put some respect on their name on that one. Another interesting one, which I'm not sure a lot of people saw was going to be a problem, but because of the form that this team had in the last couple of months, people did not. I thought that was maybe going to be a little bit difficult for Barcelona, but they definitely showed out yesterday, where they defeated Brest 3-0.
Look, the sad part of this game is that Brest could not fight back. You know, I really felt for Brest. They were supposed to have their point man, you know, on top of this. They were supposed to be on top of it. Sadly, Barcelona battered and bruised Brest, which I feel also...
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, please.
Did you watch this game?
Yes, I saw the highlights, the high points of the game.
You didn't watch the game?
I saw the points.
You saw what points?
Of the game, the high points.
What high points?
Of the Brest game. Brest versus...
No, it's Barcelona.
Yeah, Barcelona versus Brest, yeah. That's what I said now.
I have no words.
It's always very painful.
Can we move on?
But, you know, the best team in the world lost, and people are jubilating.
Best team in the world.
Brest. They play good football. That's why they're in the Champions League. Anyway,
another very interesting one, because I don't have words for you at the moment. Another very interesting one that we saw and looks like Bayer Leverkusen also decided to show out was where we saw them defeat RB Salzburg 5-0. Funny enough, Mr. Ademola Lookman was on the bench throughout yesterday, so he couldn't add his name on the tally.
You are saying Leverkusen and you are talking Ademola.
Sorry. Victor Boniface. Yeah. Sorry, it was Victor Boniface I was going to say.
Yeah, I think you were thrown off by the Brest game. That's why.
No, thank you. Leave it.
Maybe.
Anyway, Bayer Leverkusen defeated RB Salzburg 5-0. I did not think that they were not going to win that game. So
There's nothing to say there, actually.
It was kind of expected.
In law, they say it's open and shut.
Yeah,
so.
one of the very interesting ones, which I think that was kind of expected. This one was a very tough game. Was Bayern Munich and PSG. It ended 1-0. Bayern Munich is at home, so it's kind of expected they will have like at least the home advantage, and it ended 1-0. I think that was probably the least.
PSG also play in the same league with Brest, and you expect that at least one of the French teams would.
We're not doing this. Moving on.
We're talking football.
We've moved past that. We're on Bayern Munich and PSG. Let's stick to what.
Where does PSG play?
I'm not.
Ligue 1. Where does Brest play?
Why? How did we get to that point? How did we go back?
Which of the points now? The 2 points?
Inter Milan and RB Leipzig looked like Red Bull teams decided were battered yesterday. It was not a funny matter because Inter Milan defeated RB Leipzig 1-0.
Yeah, Inter.
One very interesting one yesterday, which it was kind of surprising, and it was really surprising for me too because I was disappointed, really disappointed. Was the Manchester City Feyenoord game. And why was it? As at first half, we saw as at 70th minute that game was 3-0 up for Manchester City. And I remember I'm not, like I said, I've never really been a fan of, in fact, I don't like Manchester City, don't let me lie. But I'm a huge fan of Pep Guardiola, huge fan. And I was like, 3-0, like, yeah, the boys are back, yeah, Pep is back. And the game ends 3-3. How and why?
I'm going to make a request to our guys here at Boom Radio. In the morning hour, we have the R&B session, 6 a.m., West African time. Just tune in any day for 1 hour. We play R&B. I have a request. Play Let It Burn by Usher. Let It Burn. Hey, Man City. Nah. Pep Guardiola. Yeah. Look.
The man needs to be checked because the man was visibly...
Pep's mental health...
It needs to be checked.
The real issue. But trust me...
Can you blame the man?
Trust me.
His mental health needs to be checked.
I don't pity them. But like this from here to there...
He injured himself
That boy, Haaland, fantastic, is breaking all the records, scoring all the goals, but he still needs to apologize to Arteta.
Looks like there's an Arteta curse on him at this point.
Because he was talking a lot of dosh. Now, put that aside. Man City, do you think we really care that you have problems? 6 on the bounce in 6 games that you can't win, Abi.
It's not looking good. It's not.
And guess who they are playing next?
Liverpool.
Look, I don't care.
At this point, it will be very shocking if they actually beat Liverpool.
So it's typical. It's typical arrogance by a coach who thought he had it in the bag.
He always has the
3 goals, and you start to make some substitutions that did not make sense. Instead of you to have sustained the tempo and even play like your life depends
on it, and just
took your
move
foot
on.
off the pedal with those substitutions.
And
Feyenoord did what? Feyenoord gave you a breast attack, like they played the way this French team. Stop
it.
And that's the best team.
Stop it
in the world.
Thank you. Now moving on from that, another set of goals. The rest of the 2 games also ended with a lot of goals. First thing for Sporting CP and Arsenal. I think this was a game that nobody saw this coming from a Sporting CP that has been winning all their games. They've been, whether we like it or not, from the beginning of this season, they've been very, very fantastic. Yeah. Now, an Arsenal that is just coming out of a bit of a dry spell. They've been having issues. They had issues for about 4 games. I think they won. They didn't win 4 games. I think they drew 2. They lost 2. Do you understand? And then finally just won another game. But it was still kind of touch and go. However, Chifoni Koko says Rodri is really the Ballon d'Or winner. He earned it. See how Man City looks different without him.
We used to say the same thing about Kevin De Bruyne. And that's what Rodri has become for that team.
I think De Bruyne is old. And you know the funny
There is
thing,
no argument about what Chief Owonkoko
yes,
said.
I agree with you.
None.
And we see this in some teams. If you also look at the Arsenal team, the 4 times that they really lost and they weren't doing so well, who was really missing in that team? Odegaard. So at the end of the day, what is he looking at? Looks like the midfield really makes the team.
Nah, it depends on the structure of the team. It depends on the structure of the team. Some teams will play from the wing backs and they're better, but every team needs the 3 centers to be working well. Your midfield, your attack, and your defense.
So yesterday, anybody that watched the Arsenal game looked like a well-oiled machine yesterday. They were going. No, I did not think that it was going to be easy, or I didn't even hope that they were going to win. I'm like, okay, let them just play draw but they decided to show out.
Gabi came through, Odegaard on point, but Bukayo Saka, that boy doesn't get his accolades though. It does not.
We can't say that he's officially a world-class player.
Is there a reason why we don't celebrate Bukayo Saka like we should?
Fantastic footballer. There's nothing anybody can say.
He doesn't get his flowers at all.
Very, very, very fantastic.
Bukayo,
game.
you know
what? It was a very interesting game yesterday, and I'm sure even Sporting CP, because I remember seeing
shout out to Bukayo
an
Saka,
interview of I think the interim coach or the coach of Sporting CP, where they had talked about how because they had beat City before, so they seem to be. They understand and going into the game with Arsenal, but whatever it is they did not didn't work. Give
kudos to the coach that won. Simple, because this same team had beat Arsenal before. You understand?
So BT616 says, excuse me, please, real Arsenal fans only care about the knockoff stage.
Get there first now.
Yeah, at this point, they might not even need to get to they might not need to play the playoffs if they actually.
He's talking about knockouts.
Like let's see.
But that's the problem. You people will not even finish one stage already.
Let's just see.
Saka is a great player.
Before we leave that matter, Atalanta, boys, young boys. I like I said, I know that young boys.
Tell that to Man
always
United.
Has.
He says young boys.
You are not a nice person.
When they see Man United like this, hi.
Yeah, wicked person. Anyway, Atalanta decided to show out and finish it up, and that game too ended 6-1.
The funny thing about it is they didn't even have Ademola like
they didn't even play Ademola.
Hey, there's fire on the mountain.
I just mean
Atalanta
decided to also show out. So yesterday was a lot, and
that Atalanta team. Does it have any Yoruba links?
No, I don't know.
Atalanta.
Please. Oh, God. Oh, my God. Anyway, today's games have FK Savannah with VFB Stuttgart.
We don't care.
Stopgrass with Girona.
We don't care.
AS Monaco with Benfica. That's also a very interesting game.
Like
Aston Villa Juventus. That is going to be a game to check.
That one go nice.
Bologna and Lille. Celtic and Club Brugge, they'll be fine. Dynamo Zagreb and Borussia Dortmund. I don't see Borussia Dortmund not winning this game. We have PSV Eindhoven and Shakhtar Donetsk. They will be fine. The one that is for the books.
Drum rolls, please.
Is Liverpool Real Madrid. And you know, this is interesting how you're seeing this kind of matchup this early in Champions League. It's going to be fantastic. Okay, so BT616 says, I wish Napoli was in the Champions League and they played Young Boys and Brest. Okay, first things first. Brest does not have an A. It's
just
not
pronounce it the right way.
I'm just saying. I'm just wanted to tell BT6. It's not Brest with A. Thanks. So I can say Young Boys played Brest. Oh, God. I can say Young Boys played Brest in Naples. Shola.
You know the beauty of this? We're actually talking football.
No, it's not.
It's football.
No, it's not.
I have always prayed for this team. I've been supporting this team since when they were in Division 3.
Yeah, right.
Brest is now playing Champions League. And you know, Naples playing Young Boys in Naples.
I have no words for you people. I have no words. Like, literally just give up.
Google Champions League fixtures and you will see that
we are moving on from that. However, moving on from that,
is Brest playing
please
today?
move on. No. Chelsea legend Frank Lampard is said to be confirmed as new Coventry City.
They are going on relegation. Lampard coaching. You should forget it.
Another person, and this seems like that this conversation keeps. Okay. So Chifoni Coco says they should just bench Mbappe. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think it was a wrong move going to Madrid for him. Honestly,
y'all are not even nice at all. Y'all not
okay.
nice. Anyway, Leicester City is really. He said that Leicester City is really serious about getting Ruud van Nistelrooy.
Van Nistelrooy is a good coach.
I think he's
so far so good
coach.
for him.
Yeah,
and I feel it was wrongly treated by Man United, so he should just take.
I think Leicester City will be a
take the Leicester job and then punish United
and move up from there. Quickly before we go, apparently Speed Darlington has been arrested again.
Yes, Speed Darlington said to be back in Nigeria. He was in America for a couple of weeks. Back in Nigeria, performing somewhere in Owerri.
People actually call him to perform.
Oh my God!
I won't lie. When I saw this, I was like,
"Oh my God!"
Actually,
everybody has someone inviting them to perform.
Speak Darlington.
Just mention any artist. They do show.
I'm just okay. I shouldn't do that, but I was sincerely shocked that anybody actually calls Speed Darlington.
Yeah, and of course everybody's mentioning Burna Boy's name because the last time out it was said that it was the one behind Speed Darlington's arrest.
BT616 says Osimhen to Liverpool or Newcastle. No, I personally feel that
Osimhen,
if Arsenal does not want to be unfortunate, get
Osimhen
and let's move on from
Osimhen.
The conversation.
Should not go to any Newcastle. Forget that they have money.
That's the end of your career.
Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal, Man United, and who again? Any of those four is fine.
The Jadeo Joe has said that his brother boy that is behind this again.
Again, has the guy done anything that has made them arrest him?
You remember he released the song again.
So if he has broken a law, then let them take him to court and let him have his day in court.
Anyway, looks like this matter of Drake is not going anywhere soon because Drake has instituted a second petition against Universal saying that they should never have released Kendrick's song.
We're at the bar, and Mr. Drake, sorry, sub story. I like Drake kind of, but I love Kendrick. So let him go to court. Let's see what the judges will say.
Okay. So Chief Owadikoko says, Dolupo, please report on the gym instructor that got 6 ladies who wanted flat tummy pregnant.
Yeah, it's a process. You see, what happens is that after the pregnancy, the tummy will...
I will get that for latest on it tomorrow, I promise.
We'll discuss it tomorrow at the bar. But you see, it's a process. Don't hate the process. Because after big tummy comes flat tummy. Yes, a wise man once said...
But I'm sorry, yeah. I don't know whatever it is that they were thinking. I don't know, but I definitely will give
as long as they were not forcing
anybody.
It was
consensual, yeah. Please, we just wanted to also put this out there. Interesting. Looks like everybody is getting suspended in the PDP other than Wike. As the PDP has suspended Habibu Umar, lawmaker representing Kirfi local government area in the State House of Assembly, saying that over his alliance with Wike.
Okay, you suspended him over his alliance, but the Wike gongon, you can't suspend. I said it here last week, and I'm saying I double dare PDP to suspend
him. Chifoni Koko says also they kidnapped 3 workers of Innocent at their showroom.
No, that's scary.
That is
scary. To be
scary.
honest, I'm just hearing this.
I'm just hearing for the first time. I would actually check it out once we're out of the show.
This is the beauty of
the bar, and
definitely
give more updates on that.
That's scary, man.
That is scary. So, but on that note, that is all we're able to take today on the bar. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much, people, for the comments. We'll be back again tomorrow at 3 p.m. West African time to give you another wonderful edition of the Boom Bar. Do have a beautiful, beautiful day ahead. And watch football. Yes, football today.